That is a lovely shot of Xi'an. And let me tell you one thing, the city is as gorgeous as they say it is. So go and pay a visit. We saw Opal just before. He's there. Clement, hysterics. Let's look. Clement, tell me, as we finish off this series, what do you see that I see?
Wait a minute. What is that first champion? Oh, that's Yumi.
Yumi.
Oh, I need my glasses. I'm sorry. So we're seeing DMO go back to the same, very similar composition with the Twila, Lulu, and the GALA, Kaisa. So protecting their backline, but throwing a little bit of changes into the top side. This time, they have the better matchup in the top with the Aatrox versus the Scion. But I think the theory behind it is still very similar. Protect the bot, but have a better top side that doesn't collapse. And on the other hand, WE are still going for very strong power in the bottom side, very much like game one with the Lucian pick. And even though the Kiana is now wasn't banned, even though the Kiana is not here, they still have a kill lane in the mid lane with Aurelia and Sylas.
Remember, there's not many teams in the LPL willing to play the Kalista, so good to see it on someone like Mystic, who we praise all the time. Let's head into game, because this one should be explosive more so. Actually, they're all been explosive.
Yes.
This one should blow up as well.
This one, WE is looking much more at the bottom side, while DMO, I think they're more focused on the top side. They saw the last game that Chanhong had a massive CS lead. They're against post, so they're trying to replicate and change their strategy toward him.
We'll see how we go. Let's go into the final game of the night. WE. This needs to be a win if we consider you in playoffs. Otherwise, DMO will put themselves back into contention. Another game 3, Clement. Welcome back. LGD, get out of here. LGD actually performing technically better than these two teams at the moment. Well, that remains to be seen. Yeah. Nice trade.
Very interesting. I thought Pose was supposed to be blind here, but Chanhong, with the anticipation, actually gets a ward killed early and is going to harass Beishang, at least force Xiye to help.
This is a fight. Like, Xiye's come up as well. Chanhong.
Don't go back, Chanhong.
He will. You know he will. Oh. Oh, God.
Is he a mind reader? Wow.
He's just winging it. Ready? Is he going to go back? No, he's left out. That's fair enough.
Yeah, but this is very good warding from DMO's side. They have both wards on the Krug camp and the Raptor, so they're going to see where Sylas' pathing is. And that's going to give Rek'Sai a chance to actually steal away the blue buff if Sylas is going towards his Krugs.
Well, let's find out, because that ward will be jumped over in just a second. Pings are down. Pings towards Raptors to find out where he is. But yep, Beishang gets it and now spotted out. So opportunity now for the Rek'Sai, who's taking Conqueror here. So Xiaopeng, early trade's not going to be as effective as we've seen with the Halo Blades Rek'Sai, but still should be able to find something here if all goes right.
And that has to be a sad Xur side. They were definitely hoping that Chanhong would, Beishang would go towards the top side.
Yep.
Not going to be available for a steal here, but Xiaopeng is still keeping his blue buff off. Now, we've seen this from Xiaopeng multiple times, where when he's playing the Rek'Sai, he actually gives his initial blue buff to his mid laner to increase the pushing potential.
Yeah. God, that's a very ballsy move, Clement. Xiaopeng now towards the bottom side.
It's one where Knight constantly mentioned when I was interviewing him. It's like, what do you like about Xiaopeng? Why do you always deal with him? It's like, he gives me the first blue.
Well, it's still sitting there available when he comes back. But Xiaopeng, Tremor Sense coming in handy here is 900, 800. He's going to have to make a guess. He's over the wall just in time. Flash from Beishang. The follow-up from Xiaopeng. Wants the final tick and gets it. Missing pops him back, though. You god, Cal. Oh, that was nice from Missing.
Even flashes
fabulous.
the emote.
That was gorgeous.
It definitely was. Good save on their part. However, it won't stop. Actually, takes Beishang over to 3. Huh. How did Beishang get 3? He was level 2 when he was taking that blue.
Maybe when he died? Let's find out.
Okay, checking it. I believe Xiaopeng actually got the buff here. No, they disregarded the buff.
Didn't even get it.
Yeah, went straight in for Beishang. We died level 2.
So he obviously got the experience when Xiaopeng died. And he was already dead.
Yeah,
Level up.
Equalizes it. Interesting.
Yeah. That's a fun fact for everyone
yeah,
out
I
there.
remember. You do get the XP now after death. It was a mechanic added.
How long ago? It's something that people just look over. Is
yeah,
it Xiaopeng?
I think it was a fair one.
No, don't go in, beishang. Twila's here, but teleport there as well. I forget that it's a Lulu, and that's an Aurelia coming at us.
Used from Xiye. Now I want to see if the first buff transfer actually happens. Rek'Sai really has no need for it.
Still sitting there waiting. beishang moving to the mid lane, but spotted out by a ward. Xiaopeng as well. Going to clear this one. beishang walking into lane, going to be slowed down. And that's pretty much it. So story around the mid lane is here in this third game.
Look at the top side. That's a lot of damage
where
being
did
dealt by Chanhong.
Post, I think, forced out or just backed away?
Yeah. And a lot of this is because DMO had full vision on where the jungler was, and Xiaopeng is back to his aggressive ways.
Here we go, Clement. Xiaopeng still in the river. beishang willing to take the trade. And at this point with Xiye just in a very good position, means that Xiaopeng loses a lot of that freedom. The blue buff, as you're talking about, now going to be taken here by Xiaopeng. And where's the Lulu? Surely you head towards it. Yeah, go get your.
Yeah, there you go.
Go get your 5-minute buff.
Even though Xiaopeng is that's pretty under-leveled, still gives it over.
It's the rest of his jungle. beishang level 4 now. The jungle has a big lead here. So while top is 15 CS down, at least mid Aurelia, Silas, and I was going to say Mystic, but the Kalista not doing that well in this lane. It's amazing how Yuumi can actually turn a trade.
This is a lane that's more built for all-in trades. So
Okay.
if you have the jungler here, then the kill threat is super high. But without it, it's much harder to do. And you also have to remember, Missing did leave lane to collect his red buff.
Yeah, and collect his kill. So I take that. He's got mobility boots now. So you speak of all-in and GALA mark. Oh, beishang gets hit. Hex flash away. That'll get him. Chanhong now towards the top side. I'm glad we've got a bit more calm during this game, but no, Post, please don't change my mind. He's hit level 6, so he should be able to get away if he wants. Decimating Smash. Smite.
Thanks for the minion
Thank you
assist.
so much for the leash. Post behind, just wants anything he can get. Right now, spotting out the jungle is a good news story. It means that beishang should have a bit more freedom, understand what he can play around with at this point in the game.
I love the amount of pressure that DMO are putting onto beishang in this match. Like, they've always had aggressive wards from level 1 onwards, and it's allowed Chanhong to amass a very strong CS lead in the top side.
Yeah, it's that deep control ward that's paying off dividends here for DMO. beishang wants to get in the mid lane, constantly here with the Aurelia already smashing. And if Twila dies, then I think Xiye just gets ahead 30 or so CS.
Yeah.
Just destroys this lane even further.
The problem with Lulu in lane is, even though you have push priority a lot of the times, you can't really venture and follow the other team's mid laner. And we see situations like this, where
Just
you see
outgunned.
WE just, with the kill threat, are able to leave lane and threaten.
Yeah. Xiaopeng, Twila trying to follow this up, but WE already out. Missing is quite low here, but won't mean too much. DMO have to disengage and leave it, and Xiaopeng is slowly getting choked out once again here by beishang.
3 camps behind.
Yeah.
Oof.
And he keeps losing Scuttle. I think this is the
Yes.
second or third that beishang has taken.
W has done a very good job of moving their members first towards that Scuttle in the top side as
no,
well.
he has 6. He's 2 levels ahead of Xiaopeng. beishang with ult now. Heads to whatever lane he wants, but that's an ult that went the other way.
Yeah, unfortunate for Xiye. He's actually been missing a lot of these in recent days.
Just went the wrong way. I was like, is he trying to kite outplay that? But no. Chanhong will get a red buff. So at the end of the day, despite the level difference, experience difference, the top lane is making up for it for DMO.
And look at the CS lead that Xiye has as well. 15 CS on the mid lane.
That's pretty fun.
I'm quite surprised that he's getting this type of a lead, even on a mage that's so punishing like Twila, like Lulu, sorry.
Yep. So you give him the discount, right? You give him the ult. Because you say, you may have missed your ult, but you're still winning lane. So if you miss another one, that's when we'll start talking.
All the hope of DMO are right now on Changhong's shoulders.
Yes.
And I think he's a good person to bet on. 30 CS up, no jungle interference.
But let's talk experience for Chanhong. Let's talk about in the past when we've bet on a player like him. Has it paid off?
Well, we haven't really seen him play in the 4-1 style in the LPL. Now, back when he was known as Goliath and playing in the LDL, he actually had a killer Camille.
Is such a good name, by the way.
Yes, I prefer Goliath.
Goliath is the biggest alpha name. Like, that is like saying you're Jesus. You know? And that's relevant from the same universe. It's like Marvel, like the Bible's like Marvel.
I like how you talk about the Bible as a different universe. Never mind. Let's see if Twila can survive
Twila's
this.
being caught out. Wild growth and the flash burn here. Now looking for the turners.
He's getting the trade back.
Yeah, the rest of DMO are coming. Chanhong.
Xiaopeng does have level 6. But doesn't find anything.
Ooh, a bit of the old glitter lance on your way out. Twila, please and thank you. So good turnaround from DMO, but they weren't able to burn the flash. In the end of the day, it's the Lulu who goes down. Ooh. Who got it? I don't know, but missing's here. Big Cow
No
goes
level
move.
6.
Cat onto Cow. Fate's call as xiye has to flash out. The flawless duet doesn't connect, and you know he's dead, folks. DMO pick up the second kill of the game.
Why did Missing go in? That was such an easy comeback engage from DMO. They had the final chapter, extra ultimate in that one, and WE clearly didn't want to take it.
He was a hero, that's why. Fate's call used by Mystic, though, so in the end of the day, a heavy trade against WE. Flash burnt by xiye, so both mid laners now burning their core summoner. And DMO have a gold lead for the first time in this game.
I gotta say, for this series, it just feels like team fight selection is the name of the game. It doesn't even matter how well or how unwell the laning phases have gone. It has always been about which side engages and actually has the better judgment on when to continue the fight.
Yeah.
This is something W has been sorely lacking in the recent matches. I've seen them take so many just kind of bizarre fights where half the team doesn't want to go in. It looks like they have latency on their communication.
Yeah, they got lag, Club.
Yeah, they're coming in from the Atlantic or something. It's just it's kind of weird to watch. And at least you can see W here, a really good threat onto on beishang's part. You know, seeing him slink towards the bottom side of the map is enough to scare GALA and mark away.
Yeah, but he has lost the majority of his lead. In fact, behind a level now to Xiaopeng. Trading Cloud for Rift Herald is the call, and for Xiaopeng to catch back up, that's a good testament for getting this Rift Herald. You know it's going to that top side where Chanhong is already spanking this lane, or potentially to the mid to change things up.
You definitely think it will be going towards the top side. Especially after this dragon. He knows that no one is up here to contest.
He's 30 CS and then some. That's how far he is over post. Rift Herald, decimating smash can't stop this one. Here we go. Post, he just gets whacked to the side as well. DMO don't need to dive this. They're going to just keep hitting the turret. They ignore him completely. Post does nothing against it. There you go. Keep hitting the turret.
They want that last turret plating. They're willing to greed for it.
Not even greed. Post is just like, what's a good example? Post is that mosquito in the middle of your room at night, right? You're like, well, I could get up and turn my lights on. Or I could just let this thing fly around and hopefully just die somewhere else. And that's what Post is right now. He's a mosquito that we can't be bothered dealing with. So
W actually come out ahead of that one.
Yeah, they actually did all right.
They did first
Thumbs
tower.
up. Yeah. Take that, Chanhong.
Pose knows it as well. He's like, I survived your 2v1.
And it went onto the Callista bot. So I would prefer the Aatrox, yes, but when you have the Aurelia, Callista, the Silas, who technically was ahead, feeling good, then you take that. You take the rest of the map. So not too bad. Let's see what she picks up with it, because I see a Vampiric Scepter, and that's disappointing. I want more. I think Blade of the Ruined King. Are we close? Let me think. Let me just quick.
It's still interesting to see that the Zerker Greaves are actually the first selection over completing the items.
So you're going to be doing a lot more tap dancing here, Mr. Lister. So Clement, tell me one thing. When we get to that point where the game's no longer calm, when we see there's early skirmishes, do you still favor WE?
In this composition, I think like it always depends on the type of fight you're getting. If DMO actually,
but hang on. Actually,
it's fine. It's
zero
fine.
damage
It's fine.
with the Ninja Tabby.
So DMO actually have the better chasing composition in this one, and I actually favor W's for front to back team fights. So if DMO can find someone with the Yuumi and follow up with the Aatrox, that's the perfect team fight condition that they want to have. While WE, their big question is how do they actually move Pose out of a lane that's being constantly shoved in and play the front to back? That's the big thing that they need to ask of themselves.
Yeah. A lane that, on that note, that is a Black Cleaver and a Caulfield's Warhammer. That is 50 CS up on the Scion. Now, I was talking up the lead before, Blade of the Ruined King on Mystic, who's the person specifically I was talking of, but I don't think that's enough. 560 gold on the Aatrox. This is going to be rough. Like, Chanhong is level 11, and you'd be scared if you're Mystic and Xiye. You need a lot of crowd control just on this one champion.
For sure. And DMO actually do have the better scaling with the Kaisa in this composition as well. So I really want to see W try to hard force on these objectives. And unfortunately, it's going to be an Ocean. So DMO is not really going to contest, but we can see WE are understand that they are the team that needs to play the tempo. We have seen a catch in the top lane.
Oh, Clement, good call, because tempo's there. Fate's Core missing, is searching for some beef.
You gotta love the way GALA's playing it. Very safe in the top side.
We're gonna get that 1v2 moment as Chanhong now into the World Ender looking to escape. He flashes away instead of turning. Doesn't want to deal with the Brawler's Vest that's already picked up by Post.
And top lane is wide open, so DMO, they successfully thwart 2 attempts at their lives. They'll get repaid for it.
Xiaopeng searching for some blood himself. You're right. GALA to pick up the turret. Mystic and missing. A little bit late to the party here. And I tell you what, this is kind of refreshing for me, Clement. You know, game 1, I just got to a point where I think I stopped casting and just started talking the team fights because we had so many. Game 2.
It's like, wow, this is what it feels like casting LCK. It's a much slower pace.
No, but like, I mean, even this I don't think is the pace of the LCK, right? Our first series, the BLG and JDG series, I think fits very well into the LCK style. But this one more so, like you're waiting for it to implode or explode depending on how we go. And you're waiting for that one moment where WE, as you mentioned before, play with the tempo and look for that skirmish that can break the game wide open.
Yeah, the problem here is that DMO has been very reserved in venturing in their lanes.
A lot of wave clear to deny them.
Yes, and they're not pushing that hard in the bottom side either. They're not playing for chip damage. So Chanhong's been relatively safe. The top lane is not ventured up out of under their tower, and they have great vision control over here. And I don't think DMO is even going to try and contest this this Drake.
If they do, they're going to be walking into a trap set by missing. Look at this flanking position now,
Pose.
popped out. Xiaopeng over the wall. He flashed the Cataclysms on top. Xiaopeng has to flash. No, he just gets out.
No, he gets out. He gets out.
But I tell you what, missing that was nice.
I was surprised they got out with only one ultimate.
Yeah.
That was a smart move. And also a reason why DMO should contest that.
Yeah. So, Ocean Dragon picked up, Infernal coming up next, and I don't care if missing uses flash for that. That was just fun.
Yeah, W really need kills at this point. Don't think the ultimate is enough of a lead. And the way they're going to do it is just set up in DMO's jungle. I love when teams do jungle invades.
Yep, me too.
Nice tight corridor, so no way she is going to miss his ultimate.
Need to break open the mid lane turret as well here for WE. It feels like that'll be the path. No, that's why I said they need to, Clement. I want to see it, you know? But you're right, it is just so hard to get through this, and the fact that DMO, very mobile composition.
Yeah.
Rek'Sai, Lulu, when you have Zoomies on top of you as well, the chase is just insane, and the slow that comes with it, impossible to get out of.
DMO is perfectly happy to just sit this one out.
Sit it out.
No, like sit tight.
I know what you mean.
Tight.
No, but you're right, they'll sit it out for the next 10, 15 minutes.
Probably won't be 10, but for the
Got
next
a
5.
game of TFT, you know, running in the background.
Oh, that'd be nice, but that takes a lot of time as well.
Yeah, but they probably started it from minute 1, so they're still going. You know what? I was asking the other day, when are we going to get the 1v1s? Like, and how would 1v1s work?
You mean TFT 1v1?
Yeah.
What's the fun playing 1v1? Oh, now, a very interesting thing about the auto chess genre is that it has a lot to do with Mahjong. Very similar mechanics to Mahjong. And you expect that of a Chinese
I heard
developer.
you talking earlier about this, and I agree. Like, for someone who has recently learned Mahjong and come into China, and I actually, let me tell you, I enjoyed the hell out of that game.
Yeah. There's a lot of plays in Mahjong where
It's
you're taking
true.
away core pieces from the enemy team and then transitioning them
It's
into
strategic.
pairs.
It's a good game. Like, it is actually the best card game I've ever played. I'm not even sure if I call it card game. They're
They're
tiles.
called tiles, yeah.
It's the best tiled game I've ever played.
Oh.
It's the only tiled game I've ever
Oh,
played.
I don't think WE sees this.
Oh no, xiye. He might be caught in the corner. Beishang actually coming in, so how long could xiye
It's
last?
going to be a 3v3 under tower. DMO has to run.
Oh, he finds the stun onto Chanhong. Post comes in, nails him into the corner. That was a nice flawless duet, and even better teleport from Post.
Yeah, good cut there coming in from Pose. I like the idea from DMO. There's no one really up there in top lane, and they just overload the bot side. But they pulled the trigger a little bit too slow, and W had very good vision set up on their own side of the jungle.
So now they move to the mid lane next. Clement, what did I say about this mid lane turret?
They need to take it.
But, what did you say?
Impossible.
Yeah. So what are we left with?
WE just don't have a great sieging composition. They have almost no range on the comp.
Yeah.
The only way they really hope for is to get like a good dragon fight, and the next one will be Infernal. That's always a blessing when you're running this Kalista. Lowest DPM champion in terms of the markman position later on in the game, but early on, great at objectives, really easy to snowball with.
I mean, at the moment, we should be talking about Mystic, but I feel inclined to talk about xiye. This
She's
game,
been dominating Twila.
yeah, really just sending him back. That's a 40 CS lead. Okay. That was on purpose, folks, I assure you. But the mid lane matchup, you're right. It's been a dominant affair by xiye, and it shows why the strength of this Aurelia cannot be understated in the LPL.
It's one of the most worrying parts about DMO is if you think about all three games, you actually had the champion selection on Twila's part. So he's getting the counter picks, but still not being able to do anything in lane with them.
I mean, what did we see last game? The Azir, right? The Azir into
Kiana.
into Kiana.
Yeah. That one actually went okay.
I mean, I feel like the Azir is a good pick into that, right?
And most champions that have enough range do deal well with Kiana.
She has gap close, but at 6,
She has a hard time picking up waves.
Yeah.
Low range on that.
I haven't seen the Kiana ult into Azir shield. I'm not sure. Does that count as terrain?
Once the Azir shield is set, it does count as just a terrain. Just
We didn't actually get to see the interaction of it used. I know it works
But not
around Talia wall. Talia wall's a fun interaction because if you see a Talia go and Kiana presses it, it goes.
Yeah,
like
they showed it in the champion spotlight as well.
It's cool, hey.
Yeah.
I know we'll get to see that again with all our Talia's midders. DMO setting themselves up towards his bottom side now. Infernal's contested, but that's a blind Scion into ult. Oh, that was nicely done. Twila's ult gets stolen by beishang, and WE do it once again.
And W checked all the boxes. They got Pose into the fight. He stood still, so Rek'Sai couldn't find him, and they take it down.
Cal's there. Chanhong knocked on up. Simply just to get this turret. Clement, I'll say it again. What did I say? Well, it's going to go further than just the mid lane turret as Twila gets the engage on Wild Growth stolen and used onto xiye, who's ignited but doesn't die. Good Wild Growth there by beishang. Saves his mid laner.
Another double hit
but
on
Chanhong,
the Q.
and now out of ulti, so it was a good knock-up, but will it follow through? Chanhong now repositions, but WE are out of it. The Infernal should be secured off this big pick.
Yeah, I wonder if DMO actually venture forward. They actually have very healthy HP bars here. Pose is waiting in a perfect position to catch people off guard.
Oh, but look at missing again. This cow.
She is
right
back.
there. GALA, run! Oh no, the flawless duet on top of the Wild Growth might save his life. The turn could come through and missing. Flashes over the wall, but beishang follows up as well. Mark is squishy as can be. The cat can't jump back on. And the ult stolen through here by beishang. Caught it into the wall. Chanhong is the last hope, but WE flush on that as well. And Xiaopeng has to watch from the rear as WE do it again.
Yeah, and that was a great teleport coming in from xiye. DMO thought they had a chance with multiple members low, but it wasn't the case. Great flank by missing as well. And they focused very well. They took down the only damage dealer on GALA. GALA actually burned his flash quite perplexingly underneath the second tower when he saw missing. So they all knew that mistake was there, and they punished it to the full extent.
I mean, this is just for WE. A moment of rejuvenation. Good picks, good fights, and good positioning is what you want to see out of this squad. And And playing towards that condition, I think tonight's theme has been playing towards your win condition, knowing when it is, and WE pick the time perfectly and get the Baron off the back of it.
DMO just aren't careful enough around that objective. They knew it was W's win condition, but still walked in a lot of times blindly into these brushes. And missing was the one that forced out GALA's flash earlier. He definitely knows that one is there.
Yeah.
Xiye comes over the wall. They instantly take him down, and they even put some insult to injury with the stolen final chapter on that corridor. Great
Yeah.
position for it. Chanhong can't do much. Actually knocked out of the stun.
Just for good measure, Clement.
Yep. Whew, still falls down.
Beishang just healed up all of his health. That's the power of Kingslayer. So another good game for Beishang, who is still ahead of the opposing jungler, who is 3-1-3. Beer buff comes in again. Remind me, Clement, what does it say?
Getting the strong. This one's actually different.
Oh, is
so
it?
yeah, you got the strongest buff, and hope it lasts forever with happy beer.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's so good.
I love these slogans.
I'm just so glad the Harbin sponsor. There's been some pretty good moments in this game. You know, speaking of happy times, there's been some good moments for WE. I'm glad we got to this point where we could see, you know, the best out of their gameplay. That, although it's been very back and forth and it's been messy, not as messy as game one. Good recovery, and that's all I cared about here in this series. WE with the Baron buff showing us more of the clean play and more of this opposing force that they're now bringing to the bottom lane.
Sitting on a very sizable lead at this point, so the scaling advantage from DMO not going to be a factor in this one. And with the Baron buff, no more split pushing from Chanhong. It's purely going to be a wave clear game for DMO at this point.
Leaving the Sion in the mid game, WE head towards his bottom side finally, and Chanhong looking to clear, but Mystic just dancing around. Tapper, tapper, tapper. And Zumi's going to try and heal him up, but half health with one push. Baron has a minute 30 remaining.
Chanhong with Yuumi is a dangerous prospect
That is
going
true.
into that seed.
Hey, he's almost level 16 as well, so the world ender then, with the Death's Dance, Black Cleaver,
AD.
he doesn't die. Especially not if he gets a kill off the back. We're not quite to new Aatrox just yet, Clement. The turret will eventually go down. Inhibitor turret next.
So
WE.
DMO actually have a good chance to get the engage on here.
I was going to say, yeah, W need to be careful.
Yeah, I'm glad that WE backed out of that one. To remember, DMO still has very strong engage options. This is not like the previous game. Final chapter onto either Rek'Sai or Aatrox are going to work wonders against the enemy team.
And they know how to play this composition, right? Like, constantly we say, you know, it's the sword and shield, Sion, Kai'Sa. Well, the Aatrox still adds that, but it's like dual-wielding the swords, you know? If anyone's ever watched, you know, what is it called? Sword Art Online. You know, no one else can dual-wield, but DMO can. You know, they found the loophole, right? And they're dual-wielding. What is that, a special ability? What's going on? Well, a DMO are dual-wielding this game. And Chanhong almost level 16. That's an upgraded sword, if I've ever seen one, alongside GALA.
Yeah, they're the barbarians of Diablo too.
Yeah, okay, that's probably more modern.
Oh, this just
less
reveals my
weedy.
age.
Yeah. Does it? How old's Diablo 2?
He was playing it in elementary school.
Yeah?
Oh.
I mean, I talk about Maple Story a lot, and I don't know if that reveals my age. Chanhong might actually be caught out. He goes
back
in.
in.
World Ender. There's the catwalk again. Onto the back line is Mystic, but Mystic already
Great
finds
position.
the Aatrox. You see the Kai'Sa there with a double kill already, and GALA trying to carry this with Zoomies and the shield. Here we go. The sword and shield, but destroyed eventually. It's too far forward for WE. They're ahead. And Mark running for his life. Big Death Time is now looking to storm the base.
Even with Mystic falling down early, they have enough backup damage, and Xiye coming over on the backside.
Angry cat for Mark. He dies as well, Clement. And I think this is just going to be it.
Yeah, that's finally going to be the series. DMO, even with changing their compositions multiple times, still could not escape the same fate that they had in laning phases. Just such a great deficit in the mid lane. Xiye really anchoring the series.
But I can see your optimism. The reason why, because GALA, but hang on. Death time is not long enough at this point, so
here's the
road
teleport.
goes on. The teleport, the Nara remote from Pose.
They're going to make him
Thumbs
pay
up.
for that emote. Oh, maybe not.
Still level 15, but the Force Duet lands. They steal themselves a world ender, and WE just walking out. Chanhong wants to pull him back in, but he can't.
Chanhong mad. Chanhong no get engaged.
Oh, mad.
Though.
What does that beer buff say, Clement? it says WE should fight again.
No,
Missing, two-man knockup. Yes, yes, they should, Clement. They should end it right there. They turn on, they silence the two big members of DMO, and now they could look to end the game.
Finally come to this point. DMO really angry on that one. Want to prevent the second Infernal Dragon, but they had no vision there whatsoever. That was just, feels like a bit of a tilt coming in from those players.
Either way, game's going to end here with the 80 carry knocked on once again. GALA trying to make the impossible possible with Mark at his wing, but GALA's going to get launched on once again. There's no wild growth to help him this time. Or rather, it was used, but to no effect, as the person using it dies too. Ace for WE, and this series has been so back and forth, but at the end of the day, WE get their much-deserved win. Look to keep that climb going towards playoffs and set themselves up with a nice finish here. 2-1 DMO.
Yeah, a strong streak starting for WE. They took down JD Gaming in the past week, and now finally rolling on to another victory. It's been a while for WE to actually show up in the win column, but they're doing it against DMO. There's a lot of things that I think they need to review in this series, but overall, I think we can make the definitive statement that they are the better laners. Their bottom lane, they got ahead. Their mid lane, xiye, was consistently ahead, even though he was countered multiple times. And we're seeing Missing with the new haircut.
Yeah, it's gone.
Absolutely gone.
Way played the Alistar. It was a bold move. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm actually sorry. It's been a long broadcast. I don't make puns. I'm not that kind of person, but tonight just felt right. It felt right for WE as well. I'll bring us back on track. It's okay. I think WE, in the end of the day, that game 3 was a relatively clean showing.
Yeah, I think in this series they actually showed a different type of their composition, a lot of early aggression, and I like the Kalista pick. I think it's something that's been sorely missing in the meta, where you can just go in for very strong trades early. And to point out that Mystic actually has his most played on the Lucian, so they are moving more towards a early skirmish, early tempo type of composition.
Whew. That's an upside-down mountain, Clement.
Sure is. This game really started to crack open once that Drake fight happened.
Yeah.
Everything before that was okay for DMO. They actually had a huge side lane split pushing advantage. 50 CS on Chanhong. Just Rek'Sai, DM, and Xiaopeng should not have walked into the river the way they did. And afterwards, checking back, gave a lot of kills over to WE.
Because you can see how DMO came back into that game. If there was that comeback, it was off the back of GALA with the shielding, the wild growth from Twila, Mark healing him up. I mean, that is like the Kog'Maw comp, right? The Kog'Maw that 1v5s that can't die of old, of 2017. That, I mean, WE used to run.
Yeah.
Back with Mystic.
DMO need to be able to give up on objectives when they're too far behind. I think that's a crucial mistake that they've made multiple times in this game. The game was steady. WE had a hard time cracking down their mid lane. What they should have done was just hold on, play the forehand like you're supposed to, have Chanhong do the side lane split pushing, and just be fine with the objectives going
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're like, well, this is our potential. This is what we can play to. And for DMO, I think we need to break down the series as a whole, because that was a road of development for DMO, and I think we're starting to see more of the problems of the LDL champions, where they had one great split, but everyone's caught up, everyone's got a good read on what they want to do, and how sometimes they can be one-dimensional in their compositions.
There's a couple things that I think they need to learn from. Talking to Xiaopeng face-to-face, he said the main way they just won the LDL so convincingly was that they were better players. A lot of times they just brute force things, but that's a habit that they have to change in the LPL.
Because they're not the better players here anymore. The LPL is 16 teams. We have multiple players. Do 16 times 5, then some.
So I feel like a lot of times they need to have a concept of resetting. They need to have a concept of, okay, this is beat. We're just not venturing into that. After they think about that sequence in the mid lane, they lost Rek'Sai. They were chased underneath their own towers, and then they went back. It was like, got no vision, but we got a chance. And then xiye just teleports in and just kills everyone. They take mid laner and they take Baron off of that. That was the big fall that they had to do. Just imagine if they didn't go there. They just said, okay, take it, and Chanhong keep on pushing.
Everything's different, right? However, in that game, we got to look at the positives, and that is the fact that Mystic will pick up MVP after that game. So, Mystic, interesting. Sorry, missing. Hey, I was ready to go on a spiel again.
I was like, what
yes.
did he do that game?
Give it
I
to.
don't remember.
I was like, there was a Callista there. Thank you so much. So missing, excuse me, will be MVP, and that one was well deserved. The final headbutt pulverized to win the game.
Agent Alistar hiding in the same brush, actually. The one behind Red Buff.
It's
Really
very
the
different
one you
without
want
hair.
to control with the Drake. 88.2% of the kill participation. New haircut. And
New
new
me.
fortunes.
Yeah, new day, new me. So congratulations to missing. I would have been happy giving that game as well. Beishang again, probably not. To xiye maybe, but I think missing at the end of the day, sure. Beishang had a better game 2 and 3. Missing as well. I mean, like, you can go through and you can break that down. However, there's no need. Because I think at the end of the day, WE take that and they have a long road to recover if they're going to get to summer playoffs.
Oh, for sure. I think WE need to look at this series and go like, well, we had such a lead in our, they had a sizable lead in the mid lane, 4 ECS above that one, and a level advantage in their jungler once more.
Sure.
But they really weren't able to convert that into anything for the early game. That's the problem I have with WE currently, is that even though they're going for early strong picks, a lot of the times they don't move beyond that. They actually have that stalemate where it's just like, well, we have CS lead, yay, and the game doesn't really progress. So we've seen DMO be able to drag the game out actually for a long time in both Game 2 and Game 3, and that's something they need to fix with their just their
Sitting 15th. I mean, they're going to fix a lot, Clement. We'll have a look at standings, see where they sit in WE. Picking up the win was crucial. They'll rise a little bit here, but like we said, a long way to go from here.
Yeah, looking at WE, still sitting at the 11th place, so not quite 14th, moving up the ladder. But playoffs is still a little bit out of reach for them right now. They've already played 9 series. The magic number is 10.
Yep.
So even if they win all of their remaining matches, that would still put that on. I'm terrible at math. Put on 9 wins.
Yep.
So they're going to have to rely on other people.
And that means we're getting to the point where teams like Dominus Esports, Vici, it's getting near impossible for them to qualify.
Yes.
Like for Dominus now, every series needs to be a win. Rogue Warriors, I mean, they've got many games to play. Vici, at this point, I'd be happy to say they're not going to make playoffs at all, or even get close at this point. So teams like WE, a much-needed win here today. JDG and BLG faced off earlier, and even then, like, JDG needed that win.
There's only 5 weeks remaining, and because of the schedule distribution, a lot of these teams don't have that many games left to play.
But remember, we do 5 days a week now, Clement, so EDG V5, OMG LNG coming up tomorrow for the English broadcast.
This one's going to be very fun because V5 is on the up and up, and they want revenge from EDG, basically taking away Jinu and forcing them into rebuilding. So those organizations have a lot to talk about. OMG versus LNG, also a fun one because LNG, even though they've been dominant at the early part, they have been stopped recently.
They started to fall, and OMG are a team that can test people, take them to those 3 games. For EDG as well, this will be a good warm-up before they get to the match of the week coming up on Saturday, which is RNG. I am so excited for this one. This is a thing of beauty. 2 of the best teams in the LPL.
RNG, a lot of times in regular split, you think they just go into the game with their usual strategies and their usual styles, not taking it extremely seriously. But against EDG, that's always a grudge match. They always want to rub it in their faces how they can beat them. So, it's been a story of RNG replacing EDG as the dominant one in the LPL.
That's right.
And EDG always treat that one with a lot of prejudice.
Looking forward to that coming up on Saturday. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back tomorrow because the English has gone and expanded itself. We do 5 days a week, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So now adding Wednesday into the mix means Tuesdays are not the last day anymore, Clement.
Yes. So 1 more.
Yes, thank you so much. Well said by Clement Chu.
I was doing the calculations. Like,
a big thank you to Clement. Big thank you to our production here. We will be back tomorrow with more English broadcasts. It is bye for now, but